Hey, we're back, Toby and Sean. It's been a month since we've done our last show, so thanks for all of the emails and people telling me at shows, please do another show. We're dying to see you guys again soon, so we're here. So we decided to do our next show. Just kidding.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I know you've been getting hounded. It's been ridiculous.
I kind of knew I hate this time of year. It's just it gets hot as shit and I don't feel like doing anything. And the releases kind of slow down. And I did go out of town for 10 days. I went to Portland and Denver and had a great time and got out of the weather.
Did you see any shows when you were there?
No, I went to a party with a bunch of DJs and I was supposed to go see a show in Portland the first night, but no, but I had a great time. I did a lot of walking around outside in nature and sightseeing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
And the weather was awesome.
And then I came home and got sick, just probably being on a plane with a bunch of people or I don't know what.
You just knew you were coming back to this weather. So
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
And then I had training at work and a bunch of family drama. And anyway, it was hard to get my mind around new releases. But it's also coincides with it kind of slows down at the end of the summer a little bit, but so a few of these things we're talking about are a little bit of catch up, but a few of them just came out.
First of all, being in like hot weather doesn't make me want to do anything, and it's really like made me not want to. I just kind of want to lay there, and get through this.
This summer's been shitty.
It's been so brutal.
I was listening to a lot of like comfort kind of listening stuff. I really got into the catalog of the rap group Mobb Deep. I was like, I realized as I went in, like the more recent, the more I liked their stuff, and they have a bunch of albums. So I was listening to Mobb Deep a lot.
They're Third Coast.
No, they're from New York,
New York.
Queensbridge Projects, and it's in the Bronx.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will know New York better in the next year.
You will.
As I go there more often.
Toby's daughter's going to New York
to
NYU, so that's really cool. So we did see some shows. You saw Sparks?
Yeah, so that was awesome. That was an incredible show. They sounded great. They started right at showtime, and they played like an hour and 20 minutes, but it was impeccable what they did play, and it's the older proggy stuff sounded amazing. It all did, but yeah, I'm really glad I saw that. Everyone who saw it pretty much will tell you the same thing.
That's awesome. And then we saw Horrors and Cherubs at Lost Well. That was super fun.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Cherubs are sounding great.
Yeah,
with their new bass player.
Yeah, Horrors were awesome. That's the first
They're
time I've ever
really
seen
good. I've never seen them before. They were great.
Yeah.
And
then
they sounded kind of like Helmet.
They did sound like Helmet.
Yeah, but I think that sound is kind of fresh again in a way,
And I thought the guitar player looked exactly like Josh Homme and Dean Beatles' Love Child. I couldn't stop seeing Dean on stage.
Oh yeah,
which made me think, man, I really want to see Yep again. So.
Oh yeah.
Are they still playing, Dean?
Fuck NATO. His new band's called Fuck
NATO.
Yeah. Dean's band.
Well, weren't they called Fuck Work first? Or no, not Fuck
Work.
No,
that's a different band.
They were called not Shitty Advice.
No, that's
French
a totally
for Fuck.
Different band.
French for Fuck.
That
was Dean's band.
That's them.
Yeah.
But it's called Fuck NATO.
Same lineup.
I don't know because I didn't see French for Fuck. I don't think so.
Maybe
I think
a former
it's
member of
two-piece.
NATO is in the band now, possibly.
I'm stumped. I don't know. I gotta go see them. Sorry, Dean.
You played with Yard Work, Brian at Chess Club.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love Chess Club. Is just playing like Blue Flamingo again, right on that stage. So I had a great time.
That's awesome.
And it was a good show, good crowd, right in the middle of the afternoon. It was cool to be downtown on a Sunday. It wasn't that crowded. Like it was like the old days. We pulled up right in front of the club, unloaded, parked right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
In the back, how's it set up? I haven't been there since
Sunday afternoon matinee downtown's pretty cool.
They opened up the back, like where the video games used to be?
Yeah, it's like kind of open air back there.
Cool.
Yeah.
The bar's in the same place?
Same place.
Miss Laura's office is still there in the back? She's back there?
That might go a little further back. I don't remember if that office is... I think they got rid of the office. That was nothing good went on in there after Miss Laura left, huh?
Miss Laura, I hope she still has the what did I get her? A trophy. I made her a trophy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she does.
Best rock and roll promoter in Austin. She started crying when we gave it to her.
Oh.
And then Motards at Lost Well with Sabbath Crow, Early Grave, Diamond Denim.
Diamond Denim from San Antonio. That was awesome. Everyone sounded great. It was great to finally see. I hadn't seen Diamond Denim. I kept calling him Denim Demon. I was like, let me say the name right 3 times before I go on stage and say it wrong.
Yes.
And then Diamond Denim, Early Graves with Daniel from Trailer Park 4, and the Bulimics original lineup. They were great. They sound like a cross between like scum rock and glam rock, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we like Cockness, but we also like Faster Pussycat, you know?
Yeah.
It was cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
And then Sabbath Crow sounded awesome. And so, no, we had fun playing. I've been playing with Danny on guitar from Sons of Hercules way back when, and Dan Hoekstra from a bunch of bands, and it's totally fun.
God, he rips it up.
He does. We chug a lot with him on guitar. It's real good.
Awesome. And then you did punk rock storytelling.
That was totally fun. That got watched like 190 times on this channel.
Yeah.
So that was totally fun. I'd like to do more stuff like that. It was it was a good time. And it's fun to hear, everyone's. I was like me and Greg Beats were the 2 young guys there. Everyone else hung out at Raoul's.
Yeah.
Was telling stories about the 70s and 80s.
Are they having another one?
Which was cool. I don't know. Pat Blashill I think he works during the school year in Europe. Mm-hmm. He's a teacher there, so he organized that. Chris Gates helped out, but Pat really organized it. And maybe next summer, I haven't been contacted about anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if, I think that'd be fun at Buzzmill too. There's a few venues that I think that could really work at, because Buzzmill does like stand up, so I don't know, kind of the same thing going on there. Awesome. And then, let's see, Yardwork's playing August 26th. You got a flyer?
7 o'clock.
August 26th.
Shared Walls, Cruel Texas Summer, Skloss, John Wesley Coleman, August 26th, the Far Out Lounge. That's the black and white version of the flyer because I don't have any color ink in my printer. Anyway, that's going to happen, so that'll be fun.
That'll be a fun show. Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow's your birthday.
53.
Toby's birthday is tomorrow. 53. It's going to be a good time. You got any crazy plans? Just party?
Yeah.
Non-stop?
Go out to dinner. But, so it should be fun. All right.
Okay, so which one do you want to do
We've
first?
got 5 exciting new releases to talk about. I don't know, let's, how about this one?
Okay, Lurk. All right. Is that Lurk?
Lurk.
Yeah.
That's some cool artwork.
Lurk, Natural Causes EP. That's a great cover for an EP.
Yeah.
The
artwork's really nice.
These guys are from Chicago, 2017.
No.
No?
This band's from Finland.
Oh.
There's another Lurk that's like a hardcore band.
Oh, I looked up the wrong Lurk. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, we're just going to talk about these guys because I listened to the wrong Lurk. This is not an EP.
Oh, look at that sticker. That's beautiful.
Man. All right, I need to do better homework for us.
There's 2 Lurks. One's a hardcore band, and then this one is like a sludge doom band. They kind of remind me of what was the shoegazer sludge metal band we liked from Detroit? Now I'm blanking on their name. Man, this is really slow and atmospheric, and man, they're definitely into their own thing. It's on Transcending Obscurity. They've got anyway.
All right, let me ask you some questions about Lurk.
They're from Finland. This is their 3rd album.
They're not from Chicago.
They're not from Chicago.
Sorry, Lurk. Sorry, Finnish Lurk. So how did you hear about Lurk?
I saw a picture of this album cover on Amazon, and I was like, that looks like something I could get into maybe.
Yeah. And you've already compared this to like other bands that you thought.
Oh my god! Now it's driving me crazy.
Detroit sludge.
What was the band when I got COVID last year that I was listening to? And they sent us a nice thank you note, and they were having their 10th album.
It would take me 5 minutes to look it up, but
yeah,
I know you're talking about.
No, I mean it's kind of, this is like a shoegazer doom record, you know?
Yeah. What'd you think of the bass playing on here?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, it was mainly the overall vibe of the thing, you know. I guess the bass playing didn't super stand out to me on this, but it was fine, you know. It was more about the fucking ringing guitar chords and the doomy vocals and the whole atmospheric sludginess of the whole thing.
You're right. What do they sing about? Did you pick up on any of the lyrics? Man, what great, easily readable songs.
Let's see. Man, some of them are in. Okay, so here's a song, Blood Surge, number 5. Rustic beams crane from steep embankment, dangling wrapped devotees, pathos nailed and slit for the riverbed, drain and trance the last hymn. So is the band divided, crisscross, all rivers running under my keel. Over raised dams I've billowed, burst passage between realities. Blood surge amalgamates us along the Lethian shores. Only few reaches the bottom, mass floats away. Only few reaches the shores, makes landfall in one piece insane. But en masse sacrificed and carried me past underworld, beyond hereafter, where no divine sputters. Usher the tide, erect the order, call forth the raid and thrust the fleet. Gore and lava, the bases merged to fill into the brim of oblivion. In oblivion.
Fuck.
So that's some like world building shit, huh?
Yeah.
It's some doom. I think they're like maybe imagining being in like hell or purgatory or some shit, you know, or some end of the world shit, you know. Anyway, it kind of fits the vibe of the sound, you know.
Well, whoever hasn't listened to this, neither have I, apparently. This will be a discovery for not only me, but everyone else here that is not listening to the Lurk from Finland, not the Lurk from Chicago. I can tell you all about Lurk from Chicago, but because they also have a new record out, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I guess I should have looked at that.
No, this has some nice packaging, but here, I'll give you the download. I've got 46 of 500. But these guys are a little bit obscure, I guess, as far as Finnish bands go. I just really like the cover.
Will this make your end of the year top 20, do you think?
Most likely not.
No.
If it was a top 40, it would probably be in there, you know? But, I mean, it's great. I'm going to have to be in a special mood to listen to this.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Because I was going to ask, what does this record make you feel like doing?
This is something, if I was stuck at home and miserable, that I would put on. To fucking, I feel like someone's in tune with my misery. It's these guys from Finland, you know.
I think we're going to review Lurk the Chicago Lurk next week.
Lurk.
Do some juxtapositions here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like Finnish Lurk.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago Lurk, I saw that they were on like some that like hardcore live broadcast I like, and I watched them for a second, but it was obvious it wasn't the same band I was listening to, because these guys probably don't jump around a lot and have like jarhead haircuts and stuff, you know.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, I'm sure they look doomish.
These guys
they
don't
probably
get
look like
the pit started quite as much. It's more of a slow headbang thing, you know.
I'm guessing this Lurk from Finland is probably slightly overweight with really long hair.
Let's see if there's
they look
a picture.
Like maybe Vikings.
Well, yeah. R2 Polkinen on guitars, Etu Nurmi on bass, Kali Nurmi on drums, guitars and synths, and Kimmo Koskinen on vocals, guitars and effects. There's no picture, I don't think, of the band. It's mostly this hellscape.
I can't go to this show now if they do. They're gonna be so upset with me confusing them with Chicago Lurk.
I don't know if they're coming to the U.S. This is kind of obscure.
Yeah.
I mean, they only made 500 copies, you know. I mean, it'd be cool if they did, but I think they mostly play around Finland.
After the publicity from our show,
yeah,
it's like, of course they're going to be coming now. There's no doubt. That's why a lot of these bands have been to the U.S. You know?
Okay, so I'm gonna order. If it came out in 2023, we're gonna talk about Chicago Lurk.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, where are we going now?
How about Tygers of Pantang?
Tygers of Pantang. All right.
No two bands called this, huh?
Tygers with a Y of Pantang. Bloodlines from Whitley Bay, England. God, they've been around since 1978. This is their 13th studio album. Came out May 5th. Anyway, they're on tour in the UK and the EU right now. They're not coming to the States. But when did you first hear about Tygers of Pantang, Tobe?
Well, I've always remembered the name because John Sykes from Thin Lizzy was in Tygers of Pantang before he was in Thin Lizzy.
Was he really? I didn't know that.
Before he was, of course, later in Whitesnake, and then Blue Murder. So I always knew that was the original new wave of British heavy metal band that had some records out, but I think they had 2 records out back in the day, and then they broke up. They might have had 3 back in the day, and then they started at some point, maybe in the early 2000s, putting out records again, and they've been on a longer run since they got back together than they were originally as far as output.
Yeah.
And they built a pretty credible body of work, and they got back on my radar a few records ago that they were getting really strong reviews on their stuff, and yeah.
How does the new how does this record compare to their earlier stuff from the
I
70s?
don't know their early stuff that well. I just remembered. I mean, I kind of know it, but this is probably now the record I've heard the most by Tygers of Pantang.
Do you think fans of Tygers of Pantang will like this
Yes,
record? Okay.
yes, for sure. For sure. Also fans of Saxon. If you like the new Uriah Heep,
Yeah. Which one of your friends would enjoy this record the most?
Ron Williams.
Yes. Okay.
Here's one for you, Ron. You're gonna like it.
All right.
Tygers of Pantang. The album's called Bloodlines.
What does this record make you feel like doing?
Man, it's like some victorious, hopeful shit. I don't know. It puts me in a good mood. It's kind of super polished, but it's cool. The record, the lyrics are real upbeat, like old Dio or Rainbow.
Would you, if you were listening to this as you were walking down the street, would you high five a stranger?
Yeah, I mean, I try to, anyways. I don't know. Yeah, there's some Edge of the World. That kind of reminds me of New Uriah Heep. I've walked these desert lands and I've come so far through empty streets under abandoned stars. All the oceans have dried and gone. There's nothing left. I don't know where I belong. I'm standing at the edge of the world, looking out from the edge of the world. There's nothing left beyond the edge of the world. Just one more step and I'll be forever falling. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're standing on the edge of the world, how can you be looking at the... Well, okay, I get it, yeah. If it's at the edge
Dio
and you're looking
Savage,
from the
what
edge
was
of the world...
the Dio Savage song they had? It wasn't called Standing at the Edge of the World. Was it called Standing at the... This is called Edge of the World, and they had a song called Standing at the Edge of the World.
Okay, that's why they couldn't put Standing in the title. They didn't want to get sued, or else this will be the last Tigers.
So it's pretty traditional trod upon ground for hard rock, but it fits like a glove, and this is a pretty fun record.
Yeah, Rob Weir, guitar and backing vocals, been with the band since '78. I think he's the only original member of the band. Everyone else joined in 2000. Well, Craig Ellis is the drummer. He's been with the band since 2000. But Rob Weir is the continuing original member. So cool. And then who's singing here? Jack Mealy is on the lead vocals. He's been with the band since 2004. But the new guys are Francesco Maras on guitar and Hugh Holding on bass.
Here's a picture of the crew. All right.
Nice mix of ages.
I'll tell you what. I don't know how much I'll be listening to this album. But I mean, I'll put it on a few times and I'm not getting rid of it,
Right.
and probably it won't be on my top 20. It'd be it'd be a little outside that.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, but if these guys were playing, I'd go in a second.
Right.
You know, it's a good show.
Right.
You
right.
know.
Do you feel like you got your money's worth out of it?
Yeah, this is a fun record. It sounds good. I put it on. I don't know. This is like a kind of a thing I put on maybe when no one's around because
You're embarrassed.
Well, no,
I'm
like
kidding.
it's not that. It's just like, I mean, of the people who hang out here, none of them will be into it. You know, like I kind of feel it when people aren't into the music, and they tell me as well. So then I really feel it. You know.
But we're Tygers of Pantang soldiers, so it doesn't matter.
No, but it's a good record. It's a good record. It's totally, I think, worth exploring their whole, catalog, including the recent stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, Tygers of Pantang, Bloodlines. All right, where you want to go?
Hellripper.
Hellripper!
No, we're kind of going back for this. Now, what did you think of Tygers of Pantang?
I liked them, like you said, like just like Saxon.
Yeah,
super like old man rock and roll polished kind of stuff.
Okay.
Like on the cusp of like cheese rock, but at the same time like a good time, and the production on these types of records like Saxon and like the bands that are still around that have been together since like the 70s are like phenomenal, and more often than not they'll have like a superstar playing in the band with them, or joining them. But I don't know, like
I'll tell you
I enjoyed
what,
it put a smile on my face.
I don't like it as much as the new Saxon original album that came out last year, but I like it better than the most recent Iron Maiden album. Okay, so if you're fans of that stuff, there you go. Hellripper, let's get to it. These guys like some Maiden, huh?
Fuck, dude. These guys.
And they don't sound like it. It's a one-man band. I've got like kind of a bias against one-man bands. But anyway, go ahead.
Aberdeen, Scotland's Hellripper. This guy, James McBain, he does it all.
James
McBain.
There he is.
He tours. They're actually touring right now in the UK and the EU, but he does have live members too. Clark Warren on bass, Joseph Coyne on guitar, Max Othel. But these guys, Hellripper, he started playing in 2014. This is black fucking metal, speed metal.
Yeah.
This is his third full-length record on PIL Records. I can't say enough good things about this one. I definitely think it's probably going to be going in my top 20.
Yeah.
If you like speed, if you like not the drug metal, if you like lyrics that are grovelly and kind of high pitched, and all of it's just kind of like amazing playing. And I'm guessing James does everything on this record, but it's solid.
There's a few takes by some other people.
Right.
He
does have a guest vocalist. Yeah. What did you think?
Warlocks, Grim, and Withered Hags. Well, okay. It's the reason I got this one is, well, I liked Hellripper. Sounds like something I get into. I'll tell you what, PIL is a label that if I see something's on it, I'll double check it because I like so much stuff that's on PIL Records. So this record is great. It's got great lyrics. It sounds really good. It's super heavy. It's atmospheric, but it's got riffs, Did you have a favorite song on this?
I didn't write it down.
I like the Hissing Marshes. I don't know. The Cursed Carrion Crown. Yeah, Goat Vomit Nightmare. There's a lot of good. The Warlocks, Grim, and Withered Hags. This is a real winner. This could be in my top 20 at the end of the year, too.
And the first song is what? The Deceiver?
The Deceiver, yes.
And so if you, they don't have any videos on YouTube, but if you go, they have some live stuff that they just did because they're on tour. And The Deceiver is a really fast song, but they play it even faster live like most bands do, and it's kind of hard to imagine them doing that, but yeah.
Man, let me see if I can get through this. The Hissing Marshes. I think he has good lyrics on these, but we'll see here. Seductress infernal, she twists into form, from slumber awakened, a flame in the twilight, in league with the storm, to poison salvation, the thunderous echoes and cries of the damned, haunting the waters, lost souls, they wander upon bursting paths, ripe for slaughter. The madness, the terror, the sin, drink from the chalice of death, the bewitching force of the cloven hoof, siphons the breath and soul, dragged through the hissing marshes and into the deep, dragged through the marshes, spellbound and willing, the grotesque divine, the grip of the devil, the abysmal getaway betwixt life and death, beckons the vessel, the hand's feeble grasp, the ecstasy ravaged, coiled in serpents, the pale kiss enchanting, the spirit adrift, the waters lament, the marshes, the terror, the sin, drink from the chalice of death, the bewitching force of the cloven hoof, siphons the breath and soul, dragged through the hissing marshes and into the deep, dragged through the marshes, dragged through the hissing marshes and into the deep, dragged through the marshes and into the water you go. See, those are like a notch above, a couple notches above the other lyrics.
Show the font. This is like Elvish font. Super cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's like super, it's a black metal record, but at the same time, I hear like a lot of respect for like classic metal in it, like Maiden, as I was saying before. And the whole vibe of the lyrics makes me think of like Hammer horror, So I dig the whole thing. Plus, it's great riffs, great execution.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is metal fans.
And great song structures too. Like the songs are really well written. Each of them, and they're, even though it's all like speed metal, black metal, not so much black metal, but each song has a good quality to it, like where they're different from each other. It's not just the same, non-stop drudging shit through the whole record. Like each one is very distinguishable, which I really liked.
Yeah. No, I dig this record quite a bit. Warlock's Grim and Withered Hags. I'll listen to their other stuff.
Hiss for me real quick. It's a hissing marsh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you think they're going on tour?
They are on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not in the US.
No, just in the UK and EU.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, Scotland. It's got a great metal band, huh?
Yeah.
I'm kind of biased against one-man bands, but I don't know. I'd like to see more of this because it's pulled off so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go. Hellripper.
Hellripper.
All right. Voivod.
Morgoth Tales.
Man, their last album was so good. That was totally in my top 20.
And their last show was so good.
Oh, yeah, you got to see them. Sorry I couldn't make it to that.
That was awesome. Yeah, I had a great time. From Quebec, since 1982, progressive metal thrash band extraordinaire, Voivod. This is their 16th full-length record. Believe that shit? Yeah, they're on tour. Guess where?
Canada.
Yeah, they're touring Canada. This on Century Media Records, who also put out a lot of good stuff.
Century puts out a lot of good. They put out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They're like an indie major indie or something. I don't know.
I love this.
It's great.
It's so good.
I really dig everything that Voivod's been doing lately, and like the whole new sound, the vibe, all of it.
Yeah. No, it's so good. I really dig their sound. Like they've got that on lock, and that the formula just, I think they really have come full swing with how they want to sound now. In the past, like 4 records, maybe, especially the last 2.
Yeah, and honestly, they were a band that I was interested in early on, but then I didn't really dig as they got more into like punk and garage rock and stuff. Like their brand of like prog metal didn't match my shoes or whatever. But then now I can appreciate that stuff more, and this is like a good jumping off point, because honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to include this at the end of the year, because it's re-recordings of songs mostly from previous records. But it's like they picked select deep cuts. It wasn't like the hits. It's like songs they wanted you to re-listen to that they like playing, and which I think is great. Some of my favorite albums are like, like greatest misses kind of records. Devo greatest misses. Aerosmith Gems is my favorite Aerosmith record, which is like no hits
Same.
on it. Yeah, it's a good one, huh? But so here's them recording that. Man, it's a great record. So they do songs from a lot of their different albums. It has a rundown. I mean, they kind of go through their career and hit their more obscure albums, you know, and some of the more well-known ones too. Yeah.
But I feel like if you've been listening to Voivod, at least in the past 10 years, you'll recognize at least half of these songs.
If you've gone to see them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds great. And then at the end, they've got a new song, or is that the beginning, the Morgoth Tales? I didn't even read these liner notes. I just listened to the album. I should read that. Anyway, they sound awesome. I love Voivod. This is a great record.
Read all the liner notes. Let's try that tonight.
Yeah.
From front to back.
Yeah.
No, this was fun. Are you going to really do it? All right, let's do this. Speed read it. Remember like the guy from the 80s?
January 7, 1983, Voivod is officially birthed. After a couple of years seeking the right chemistry, establishing direction, and in some cases learning how to play their instruments, the four basic forces of Snake, Piggy, and Blackie eventually fire up the engines of their roaring post-apocalyptic machine. January 7th, 2023, Voivod began tracking an album in Erratic Art Recording Studio. It's their 16th studio endeavor and one of the rather different sort even for them. The project revisits songs from a wide variety of Voivod eras recorded by the current core four, Snake, Chewy, and Rocky. The album Morgoth Tales also features a new song of the same name recorded especially for this occasion.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then they do a cover at the end. It's a PIL cover.
Oh.
The song Home. Which is from the PIL Generic album, which
how did you like the cover?
I like it a lot. Yeah, I thought it was an interesting pick.
Right.
You know, they've always been done like cool songs for covers.
You know what? I'm gonna put this in my top 20 probably at the end of the year.
I probably will too.
I don't care if it's just re-released or re-recorded stuff. You know,
it's like, really good.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's really good. I think this is almost an essential for any Voivod fan.
No, I think you should, definitely get it. Yeah. I mean, and how many people do you know, like, were keeping up with all of it, you know, the whole time?
Right.
They've got Jason Newsted shows up on a song he did with them when he was in the band for one album. They have Eric Forrest, another old member, shows up. So, okay, Morgoth Tales is the 10th song, and then the cover of Home. Which is from the PIL Generic album, which made me think like that album when it came out was like considered like the big sellout. I don't know, but people still liked it.
What year did it come out?
Like 86.
Okay.
You know, but I think that album has aged well. I mean, it's weird. Like Steve Vai plays drums on it.
What?
Tony Williams. Have you know with Rise on it, that album?
No, I don't know that.
And they completely ripped the concept off from Repo Man, which was like a hot movie at the time.
Yeah.
Or Flipper actually had a Generic album too, and then Flipper had a record called Generic Flipper Limited. No, Public Flipper Limited. Yeah. Anyway. I'm getting way off track because the cover of Home brings us to our next record. Do you have more questions about this? We both love this record.
No,
right?
I really don't. I don't have anything else to say other than it's just fantastic and it's an essential for any Voivod fan.
Voivod's on a roll and you should definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, and that brings us to the band they covered at the end of this.
Public Image Limited,
PIL,
End of the World.
End of the World, which just came out.
11th full length. It came out dropped on August 11th.
11th
full length record. They have their own record label called PIL Official. John Lydon. Pretty much everyone in the band is. John, of course, original, but...
he's the only original. They've been through so many people.
But they got... On this record, it's Bruce Smith on drums. He's been playing since 86, and Lou Edmonds on guitar since 86. And then the newest guy is Scott Firth on bass and synthesizer since 2009. So, Tobe, when did you first hear about PIL? I'm going to ask you all the funny questions I wrote for you today. Who turned you on to PIL?
I always wanted to hear PIL because of the Sex Pistols, you know. And then I got into PIL later. Or, you know, actually the first PIL stuff I actually heard was that Generic album. And then I went backwards, and I gotta say, like, second edition PIL, sorry, the Metal Box record is probably, might be my most listened to album of all time. I've worn out a few copies of that record, and I love Jaw Wobble's bass playing, Keith Levine. And those guys are long gone, but the guys they have now are awesome. You know, this band rules. I actually got this album yesterday, and I put it on. I immediately wanted to talk about it because I didn't have any of that, like, new album, like, sorting through it, getting used to it. Like, it was, like, immediate, like, comfort listening to me.
Dude, same. I listened to it, like, 5 times at work today after you told me to listen to it. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead. I gotta clear my throat.
No, I was just going to say that I put this on, and I can't say that I was too excited to have to listen to PIL, because I wasn't... I mean, I've listened to a couple of their records, but I couldn't tell you, like, what my favorite songs by PIL are. But... I enjoyed the shit out of this record, and it is okay. I'm gonna make a comparison here, but let me tell you, this is like, in a way, reminded me of like Sleaford Mods. Took some Valium, because John kind of speaks his lyrics now. You know, he kind of always has, but like more so, I think, nowadays. Yeah, and I feel like he's really borrowing that style from Sleaford Mods, but it works. Like, there's really not a shit song in here if you understand like who they are and like their previous work and maybe the direction they went ahead, if you're, you know, wanting to make that borrowed comparison from Sleaford Mods. But but like you said, I enjoyed this. I thought I was going to really hate this, but I was pleasantly surprised. Some songs are a little more techno and upbeat, you know, but some songs are super slow and synth. Which I liked how that broke up. I actually read a few other reviews of this record, and people didn't like the juxtaposition.
I read a terrible review of it in like one of the British press.
Really?
Like, yeah. Where they said the only good song was the last song, Hawaii,
which I think is the worst song.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Tob. I mean,
okay,
I loved
that's what I would say. Okay, I don't really dig. Okay, here's a good example of someone who I currently don't dig their politics, who I think their record's really good. You know? So like, politics be damned, I don't give a shit, really. He hadn't said anything that horrible, you know? And there's a couple songs in here that, like, he has a song kind of making fun of students called Being Stupid Again, which has a lot of, like, sloganeering in it, like, Save the Whales and stuff, whatever. And, it's a good song. I don't really agree with it. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Here's the thing is, if you've been paying attention to his whole body of work, and I think after, like, John Lydon's long gone, this totally fits right in and is a totally respectable release that will have to be taken seriously alongside everything. And, I mean, what did you expect from the guy? Yeah. I mean... was he supposed to age gracefully, you know?
He'll never put anything out that he wants you to agree with. Yeah, that's the whole point of him.
He's a contrary person.
Right.
Yeah. So you know, when I read that review, it made me think, it's one of the big British newspapers, you know, and they were like, the song Hawaii is beautiful. Apparently it's a tribute to his late wife, which he doesn't really say that in it. It's, of course, like Aloha Hawaii, but, you know, with all the fires in Maui now, I thought it was like, I mean, there's no way he would have known that was happening, you know, but I was like, well, that's a really nice way to end the album. But it is a slow, pretty song, and if the whole album was that, it would be a total fucking sellout, right?
Yeah,
this would be like, okay, look who jumped the shark, unlike what they have to say in that. But the rest of it fits right in, and I like how, like, he makes it sound so easy, you know, like, God, it just sounds like he's reading random things from his diary while the band's jamming, you know? But somehow it's good, you know? And so, I really dig this album. Like from the first listen, I was like, yeah, I called you yesterday. I heard it yesterday. Called you yesterday. It's like we got to talk about this one because it's exciting to listen to. It felt like putting on an old comfortable pair of shoes actually. And I don't know. It's hard for like a singer to maintain that. You know, like keeping the band name going and the sound, you know, but somehow he's done it. And
his contrarian perspective to just everything, you know, and just inserting enough of John Lydon, Johnny Rotten to like piss off a majority of the listeners, or you know, create a bad review. You know, of course, like mainstream British media is going to hate this, you know, and I think that's exactly what he wants, right? Like they're just playing into his hand. But if the hand that you're looking for is like a nice record that's pretty much got everything that, you know, a true fan of Lydon's would come to expect as far as like songwriting and his lyrics, I think you're going to really like this. And it was super relaxed too. Like it was it was a great listen to just throw on, and
this will be in my top 20.
Yeah. And no matter what mood you're in, if you put this on, it's just it's right there. I love it.
Did you have a favorite song?
Not Hawaii. But I like Pretty Awful.
I like the Do That.
Yeah. Yeah.
That song is awesome.
Right.
Even like the songs I don't agree with are good. You know, like I probably don't agree with him like half the time. But you know, he's like it fits his character. I mean, he's true to himself, and you gotta hand it to him, and it's a completely listenable record. And you know, I love the bass playing on this one, by the way, and the guitar playing. So, you gotta be a great bass player to replace fucking Jaw Wobble and fucking PIL. You know, they gotta play some of those old songs. You know.
You know, when I've been watching a lot of wrestling documentaries lately.
Yeah.
You know, and like, of course, everybody knows that wrestling is staged; it's not real. But you know, there's a thing called kayfabe where they tried to keep the whole secret of wrestling like in you know, behind closed doors for a long time, and being kayfabe, you know, is like acting that role. And so when I was listening to this, like I guess it just brought me to a weird crossroads where I was like how many musical artists are practicing kayfabe? Like how many of them, like, you know, like John Rotten, like, you know, was this a persona? Is this how this guy actually is? Like, does he believe what he's saying? Is he putting this in here for shock value? Why does he write these lyrics? Like, but the more that I thought about that, I was like, no, like maybe at first Johnny Rotten was a character, but I think Johnny Lydon has like always been the same guy, and there are components of him in Johnny Rotten's made up image that translate to now. So I don't think any of it's bullshit.
No.
Yeah.
No. He's it makes me want to listen to the other newer records. I hadn't listened because he kind of revived PIL 1 or 2 albums ago. I don't know, and started putting out stuff, and man, this is really good.
Yeah.
But who would you recommend this to?
I would recommend one of our friends.
I'm gonna say Bill Jeffrey.
Bill Jeffrey, Sean Morales.
Sean, okay.
Yeah.
Bill's probably already heard it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So the new PIL, I'm gonna make it winner of the week. But these 2 records are also fucking awesome.
Yes.
If you can get into all 3 of these, then we can hang. You know.
Then DM me. I'll send you my number.
Oh. And these are aight. Shit. And so yeah, we got more stuff coming up. But that's it for today, right?
All right. Oh gosh.
Man, we both got our shit going off.
Yeah.
So I guess that signals it's time to go. Can I play drums today?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's back this up. You're in charge of directing.
All right, cool.
Okay. And you got to turn the show off at the end too.
All right.
Hitting them calls. Take out that Yamaha. Back that camera up.
Yeah.
I like that bass.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.